there, it's Laurie at Positive Thanks Living. We have a couple of prompts. I've caught up almost to the prompts. Gilded was for day 9, and that sent me down a rabbit hole today. I received a gift card and for Christmas and bought myself some of this Sizzix luster wax. I'll open it up so you can see it. And I'm using a old eyeshadow brush, disposable eyeshadow brush, to put the luster gilded wax on. What I'm trying to do. Can you tell that these are 2 different colors? These 3 are one color and that's a different color. Talk about frustration. So gilding, for the prompt for today, I'll do it on the page. It's supposed to be a pocket. See? So I'm going to gild the pocket, but that got me started thinking, what else can I gild? Can I gild certain things? All for the purpose of working on the cover of the book. And here's the cover at this point where I am at. Boy, that's very southern. At where I'm at. It's horrible English, but it's good southern. These paints are, again, a gift from the gift card that I received. And they're more expensive than the other watercolor. In fact, these are sort of watercolor, but not really. They're the Gansai Tombi Kuretake watercolors Art Nouveau palette. I love them. They are creamy and beautiful. They're not as translucent. They're more opaque than a regular watercolor, and I'll show you how on my cover. So, still need to gild this so that they match. I'm hoping it'll work. I'm deconstructing and I'll reconstruct this. Here is the completed gesso that I painted with these colors over top. Kind of interesting, huh? I'm not in love, but I'm interested. I have the paper napkin that was our Christmas napkins. Not overtly Christmassy. Sorry, I'm swinging you. I didn't mean to. But they'll fit in with the forest theme, and I want to Mod Podge. Here's the Mod Podge on that napkin. And then these are going to be the front covers. Now, I have a piece of lace. It was a curtain, and I cut it apart. And unlike we first mentioned, I talked about, this image is going to go in the back, and this image is going to go on the front. This is from the collaboration with Be Happy Stationery, the artist that did the little animal, did the animal illustrations, is Crafting Dragon. I'll link below in the description the individual. But I like this one, and I just used a little bit of watercolor pencil over top of here. One of the people that are doing videos talked about bringing out your pencil crayons, and I thought, yes, that's how I can change the color from orangey, because of my printer, to a red color. And I'm going to put on the napkin with some Mod Podge. Let's see here. What brush is okay that if it's ruined? I've used different techniques to put down napkins. Mod Podge being one of them. There's a technique you can use. Oh, look, the paint's coming off. So putting a sealant on here is a good idea. That's a third process. But regardless, for right now, I want to put the napkin on and seal it in to the cover, making sure that as it bends, it'll be okay. Now, you know the idea. I'm sure you know. It's prevalent, but in case you don't, most paper napkins have more than one layer. Sometimes they have 2 layers, sometimes they have 3. When you're doing this technique, separating the layers is important, so you get the most translucent option possible. Ironically, I did a bunch of these napkins on glass jars as candle holders for Christmas. And at the time when I did that, same process, I didn't realize there were 3 layers. I only took 1 layer off. So I have these candle holders now that are beautiful. It's a very frosted look, but there's more than 1 layer. I'll show you next week or next Tuesday what I did. We can compare the difference between this book cover image and the glass jars. Okay, there we go. On the spine we have the paper napkin. I hope the light is not blinding you. I can't really tell as I'm working here. Okay, what do you think? That's the start. That's the beginning. We're getting there. Texture from the lace, we'll have texture from the gesso, we'll have texture from the napkin. Because of the forest people, animals, having the tree makes sense. Yeah, okay. So this has to dry. So we'll carry on working on this on Tuesday. In the meantime, let's do the day 9 prompt, which is gilded, and I will show you where the prompts that I've done so far. So just let me move this out of the way, and in a blink I'll be back. Okay, here we go. Here's the first signature, and I'm using 2 different sets of daily prompts, and here is what we're going to work on, the pocket, and for day 9 is gilded, the 2 together. Here we go. So this is the beginning. This one was open, and you see this little pocket. It's so the intent, my intent is with. The word for the year is with for me. So the little animals, the 2 together, they represent working with people, whether it's in person. I have a crafting group that I craft with. The little mice, they're all together. This was day 2 was script. And cozy is think it was day 3. And that's where this little bow, it's a crochet knit yarn, and it's very cozy. And last time when we were together, I put some snow on this door with the little mice. That was cozy to me too. And whether it was simple, this page is simple. I attached this page with a brad, and I hid the brad in between these layers. This is some tracing paper, and I painted on it. This one, I was going to use the iridescent medium, but instead I used this Pearl Colors, the Gansai Ukuratake. You can't see the pearl colors because I put them back upside down, but here you go. They do have iridescence in them. So I used the white and the blue. And you can see that I'm using these pans up quite a bit. I've had them for a number of years. And then we have postcard. So here is some postcards in little pockets, and a tag, and embellished with some of this ribbon that's like burlap. This is a little brad on there. I'm using up the brads that I have, and brad here so things can swing. All right, postcard. And then we have tickets. Here's some tickets. Be still. Let go. Sometimes you can't let go until you've spent some time being still. And then invoice. I think invoice and simple were the same day. So this is a simple invoice pocket. You can see I backed this digital with tea-dyed paper. I have the little heart image from the one set. This is a tag with an invoice on it, and I have it simply tucked away like that. Now this page, here's where I painted the back of the paper. This is the front with these watercolors, and you can see how they spread. I just used I spritzed some water like this on the empty page, and then dropped in some of these colors to the paper. Then I had this cutout with a little mouse behind, and to me this is like a nest. They're in their little nest. So day 6 was tag, and so this is the tag. I'm not done with this yet. I'm going to add to it, but the tag just sort of goes into their nest like that. And moving on to day 7, I did actually day 7 belly band hidden together, 7 and 8. So 7 is snowflake and 8 is dream. And this coloring just made me think of a dreamy experience. This is one of the digitals that I printed out, and it was very pink. And I thought, okay, let's go with the pink. Let's do it. And so I added some paper, so added some watercolor. Again, these colors here, and then stamped snowflakes on. This is vellum, and it's hidden. They're hiding. They're hibernating. They're dreaming. of the summertime behind a blanket of snowflakes. And the belly band is right here. It's more of the vellum, and so a tag can get hidden in there. And then I did a little slow stitching snowflakes onto this band of fabric and lace. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Experiential, textural. Doesn't this look textural? This digital. And now moving on to day 9, pocket and gilded. This is where I pulled out the gilding wax and I started down a rabbit hole. What can I gild? What can't I gild? You know, here's some more watercolor. I'm going to put a belly band on here. You see the colors, they coordinate. But first I want to gild it. So you can see, let's explore together how simple or how difficult it is to gild. I'm hoping it's easy. How are you doing? Are you well? Are you enjoying doing your art? I hope so. I'm finding this, putting two kinds of prompts together and watching others' videos as they do them, challenging, but in a good way. It keeps my attention, for sure. To be blunt, I don't sleep well, so when I'm trying to fall asleep, I think about the prompts and what I'm going to do next with the prompts, so it helps me fall asleep. So that's a good thing, right? Do you have difficulty ever sleeping well? I presume it's my age and stage of life. But finding a solution would be nice. All right, I'm not going to gild the top. I'm just going to gild the edges, top and bottom, and put it on there as a belly band. I might try putting a little bit on some of the surfaces and then removing some. I want it to be gilded but not overtly gilded. I think it's probably too much on the edges here, so I'm going to wipe away some. Oh, that really spread, didn't it? Wow. You're watching me learn here. All right, let's address this and see if we can fix it. And if we can't, then we have to go with it, right? That's art. Nope. Apparently, I'm going to have a lot more gilding on this than I initially wanted. Do you think water would remove it? I don't know. If you have any advice, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think I should have done differently. Maybe used paint and forget the gilding wax, but I wanted to try it. All right, there it is. Maybe I can put an embellishment here or something like that. All right, we've got what we've got. I'm going to put the belly band down. I've got a little gilding here. All right, and I'm looking for my art glitter glue, and let's hope that it will behave. There. You know what? I think I like the bottom of this best. Apparently gilding wax goes all over the place. Who knew? Maybe you did. I didn't. All right. There we go. I'm just going to wipe my hands off because I don't know how toxic this gilding wax is. It has all kinds of signs on the package not to put your fingers in it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't have any allergies or my immune system is fine. See. Nope, doesn't come off, even with a wet wipe. All right, here we are. What I am going to do is just rub a little bit more to make sure any excess won't get on the other page. Yep, it's dry now. See? I'm not getting off any on there. All right. I want to tear the top off to find my tear ruler. And it's currently over here. Do you misplace things when you're crafting that you can't find them? Okay, let's just tear this. Okay, it's a bit messy, but okay. Let's take that off. If it comes off, yes, it did. Good. This mulberry paper page is a little delicate. I'm going to remove it from the working surface at this point. Okay, here we are. This goes in here, and then this goes here. Well, that's kind of messy, isn't it? I do have some trim that I could put down to disguise it a bit. What do you think? I like this trim, and it's a real juxtaposition between the fanciness and of the gilding and the rawness of the trim, because it's like a jute trim. Let's use this. Let's put this down, okay? Both sides or one side? I don't know. Thoughts? If only you were in the room, I could ask. All right, here's one. And two. Are you working on Junk Journal January also? Are you using a set of prompts? These are my scissors that I use for fabric. Let's put a nice little strip of art glitter glue there. We can still see the gilding through it, but it's not as overt. See, this is why I don't put my signatures into my cover at the beginning, because I like the freedom of removing the pages so they're easier to work on. I'm going to have to watch some people who use this gilding medium and get some ideas on how to do it properly, or at least how not to make such a big mess. I'm probably missing a step or something like that. All right. Okay. And the idea being there'll be a tag that can go behind there. It's a belly band, so it corresponds with the other one, the other page. All right, so this one, on this page, I want to put a pocket. And this is the image that I want to use. And I want to put more gilding on here so it corresponds and peeks out. Oh my. Sorry, I'm quiet when I concentrate. I've used watercolor paint on here to edge the image. And I'll lay this down and glue 3 of the 4 sides as a pocket. All right, let's clean this off. And 3 of the 4 sides. This is the top. A long time ago, when I first started this junk journaling journey, I learned from one of the creators that I watched to hold the side that you do not want to glue. I'm sure you've had the experience, as have I, gluing the wrong side of the image. And by holding that side of the image, we make sure we don't glue it. All right. Use this to hold it down. Art Glitter Glue, there is no glitter in the glue. It is just the name of the company. And it dries very fast, to the point where you have to be sure to put the lid back on your glue bottle. And you don't need a lot of it. So the benefit is that it won't cause the paper on the other side to buckle too much. This has to be the lightest paper I have at this point. It was one of the first ones that I tea dyed. So there you see the other Mod Podge of the image of the tree. Okay, and this will be yet another tag. Will go in here. I'll decorate it in a bit, but that's pocket. And this is going to go in this page here. For day 9. So we have pocket and gilded. A gilded pocket. And I have 3 images here that I want to put on this. This is called parchment paper? Nope, it is tracing paper, but it's called rag tracing paper. So it's definitely less translucent. And the 3rd image. I lost the 3rd image. Oh, here it is. And I'm going to glue these on. I want to gild this yet. And then the middle signature here for day 10 and 11. I have my, sorry if I shook the camera, I have my lace. Can't remember no, it was this way. I planned it. Lace and fabric here is go on this side. And I want to do a little bit of slow stitching on there. Something simple and easy like I did on this piece, where I just use different colored embroidery thread with the lace end. And this is going to be the middle of this signature for Junk Journal January. The lace, the favorite film. So I'm going to tuck, I don't know what my favorite, I have to think about that. What is my favorite film? And fabric is starry. So maybe I'll slow stitch some stars somehow. I don't know. Yeah, I'm doing 2 sets of prompts and 2 sets of digitals for this Junk Journal January. The information on how to see the digitals is below in the description, and I'll try to remember to do the first comment also. Anyhow, this is where I am. I'm Lori at Positive Thanks Living. I hope you're having fun, either having an easy and relaxing time doing the crafting you're doing, or whether you're challenging yourself. I don't know. I wish you well. Take care, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Bye for now.